Great, Scott. It's Scott. Well, believe it or not, Scott Walker is, well, running away with it. I know it's early. I mean, really early. But for Republican donors, the Wisconsin governor makes a really compelling case for their cash, or a lot of their cash. Not because everybody loves him, but in this very dysfunctional Republican Party, nobody appears to at least hate him. And Ford O'Connell says that matters a great deal. Why, Ford?
Because basically he can drive in both lanes. He appeals both to establishment Republicans and grassroots conservatives. And this is expected to be an extremely packed party and primary. And frankly, being able to drive in both lanes of the Republican superhighway is extremely valuable, Neil.
Now, he is obviously appealing to Tea Partiers and mainstream types. There is the issue here, they're already picking apart, hey, he doesn't have a college education, he's anti-labor to the point that in a national election it could hurt him with the working guys. How do you assess that, and what do you think Republicans do to counter that he's better than all those negatives?
Well, the negatives are obviously going to weigh down Scott Walker, and he's going to have to really build out his campaign and try to get the money in because, frankly, now everyone's going to scrutinize him. With respect to the college education, I think that's a strength for Scott Walker.
I do, too.
Because frankly, where the Democrats are getting killed is with white working-class voters, and that's who the Republicans are going to need if they want to beat Hillary Clinton in 2016. And the fact that he appeals to them and can say, I'm one of you, I think is a very valuable thing, Neil.
And by the way, we'll also say, last time I checked, I'm a governor, so it didn't really matter. But having said that, when you try to appeal to all sides, or at least the two crucial sides of the Republican Party, you're vanillaed it down, for want of a better term, and that could come back to hurt him. I mean, you can't be liked by two sides that are diametrically opposed, or can you?
Well, I think you can, but you have to be able to speak to both of them. And I think that while Scott Walker's vanilla, he's someone who's seen as genuine. And frankly, what all Republicans like is the fact that he's won 3 elections in 4 years.
That's right.
He's balanced his budgets, and he's tough on unions. I mean, honestly, that is something that all Republicans can get behind. And frankly, the fact that he's been able to do it in a blue state like Wisconsin is a very, very powerful narrative, particularly in the Republican primary, where every candidate is looking for every edge to get ahead in the polls and to get press.
All right, when you're talking about 3 elections, he had a recall election that he won out as well.
A very bloody recall.
But every other year there seemed to be an election. What is the other message you get is, oh, he's not as dynamic a speaker or as in-your-face a speaker as a Chris Christie, or as loved by the big party money types as a Jeb Bush, or as galvanizing as a Ted Cruz. Does any of that stuff matter?
As long as he can show himself to be passionate and genuine, I think you can get rid of that. We've gotten too much into this TMZ, ESPN society where, who gives me the zing the most is what matters. And I think right now Americans are tired. The unemployment rate is terrible. Everyone's out of work. And frankly, Hillary Clinton's as plastic as can be. And really, who we need to connect with are 2 groups, working class voters and Hispanics. And Scott Walker can do that, particularly if he can get a Hispanic vice president should he win the nomination. So I think that being genuine is really key for Scott Walker. And really, can he build on this momentum? I don't know. It's early. You're right. We have a lot of ups and downs and a long way to go till 2016.
Well, if he can work on that genuine thing, I mean, I've built a career on it. I got to go back to the prompter, but Ford, it's always good talking to you. Thank you very much.
Neil.
Well, we put it out there, guys. Why don't you think about that? Is that going to really matter? All that other stuff, if you can unite the party. We'll see.